Ghosting has become so normal in gay dating that we almost forget how much it hurts. You meet someone, feel a spark, and then silence. In this video, we're unpacking gay men and ghosting, 6 truths you're not ready to hear, the real reasons it happens, what it does to us, and how to break the cycle. Truth number 1, ghosting isn't always about you, but it always affects you. When someone disappears after what felt like real connection, a date, a few hookups, or even months of chatting, it's natural to internalize it. You replay everything. What you said, how you looked, what you might have done wrong. But here's the harsh truth. Ghosting almost always says more about them than it does about you. A lot of men ghost because they're emotionally overwhelmed, closeted about what they want, ashamed of their feelings, or just lack the maturity to communicate discomfort honestly. They vanish because confrontation feels terrifying, or because acknowledging your humanity would make them face their own. That said, knowing it's not about you doesn't make it painless. Ghosting destabilizes your sense of emotional safety. It leaves an open loop, a story with no ending, and that psychological tension lingers. You can know logically that someone's silence is about their avoidance, but emotionally, it still feels like rejection. And if you don't process that pain, it calcifies into cynicism. All gay men are flakes. Nobody wants anything real. The truth is, ghosting wounds you even when you understand it. Healing means letting that hurt matter without letting it define you. Truth number 2, you've probably ghosted someone too and justified it. It's uncomfortable to admit, but most of us have done it. Maybe you didn't call it ghosting. Maybe it was fading out, forgetting to reply, or he'd get the hint. But the behavior was the same. You disappeared instead of communicating. And usually, we justify it. We tell ourselves, I didn't know him anything, or I just didn't feel it. But at the heart of ghosting is avoidance, the desire to sidestep another person's emotional response. You didn't want to deal with their disappointment, so you vanished. In that moment, someone else became collateral damage in your comfort. Recognizing this doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you human, but it should also make you more empathic. The next time you get ghosted, remember, you've been on both sides of avoidance. Accountability means not repeating the same harm you hate receiving. It means practicing the discomfort of honesty, saying, hey, I'm not feeling a connection, but I wish you well. That's not weakness, that's integrity. Truth number 3, ghosting thrives in gay culture because vulnerability feels dangerous. The truth is, ghosting isn't just a personal issue. It's a cultural one. Gay men grow up in a world that often punishes emotional openness. Many of us had to hide who we were, learn to mask feelings for safety, or got rejected for being too much. That early conditioning makes emotional transparency feel risky. So when we date, especially in a culture shaped by apps, hookups, and instant validation, we protect ourselves with distance. Ghosting becomes an emotional shield. It's easier to vanish than to risk saying, I don't know what I want, or you're great, but I'm scared of how much I like you. Vulnerability has never been modeled for most gay men. Avoidance has. And because dating apps gamify human connection, people feel disposable. There's always someone else one swipe away, which makes empathy optional. But here's the twist. The same wall that keeps you from being hurt is the one that keeps you from being loved. When everyone's ghosting to stay safe, intimacy becomes nearly impossible. Breaking the cycle means daring to be the person who doesn't disappear, even when it's awkward. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's rebellion in a culture built on avoidance. Truth number 4, chasing closure from a ghoster is often just chasing validation. When someone ghosts you, it's easy to spiral into questions. Why? What changed? Did I misread everything? You want an explanation, a reason that makes sense. But most of the time, what you're craving isn't really closure. It's validation. You want proof that you weren't crazy for caring, that you matter to them in some way. The hard truth? Ghosters rarely give closure because they don't have it themselves. Their silence is a mirror of their own confusion or cowardice. If you do get an explanation, it's often vague, defensive, or unsatisfying. Real closure doesn't come from hearing why someone disappeared. It comes from deciding their disappearance no longer defines your worth. That means letting go of the fantasy that one text, one apology, or one final conversation will heal you. It won't. Closure is self-created. It's when you stop rereading messages, stop stalking their socials, and stop trying to turn silence into a story. It's when you look at what happened and say, I deserved better communication than that, and next time, I'll accept nothing less. That's closure with power attached to it. Truth number 5. If ghosting keeps happening to you, it's not a you're unlovable problem. It's a you're picking unavailable men problem. Patterns reveal our pain. If you find yourself getting ghosted repeatedly, it's tempting to think, there must be something wrong with me. But often, the deeper issue is who you're choosing and why. Many gay men are unconsciously drawn to emotionally unavailable partners because that energy feels familiar. If you grew up craving attention, affection, or acceptance that was inconsistent, you may have learned to equate emotional unavailability with excitement. It's that intoxicating mix of chemistry and uncertainty that keeps you hooked, until you're ghosted again. Breaking this pattern requires self-awareness and courage. It means asking, why do I keep chasing men who make me feel anxious instead of safe? What part of me confuses unpredictability with passion? You're not too much for wanting consistency. You've just been conditioned to settle for crumbs. The more you heal your relationship with yourself, the more you'll start recognizing flakiness not as a challenge to win over, but as a red flag to walk away from. Truth number 6. Ghosting will keep hurting until you set boundaries that honor your worth. You can't stop people from ghosting, but you can stop giving ghosting permission to wreck your self-esteem. Boundaries are how you reclaim power in a culture that normalizes disrespect. That might look like deciding how long you'll wait for a reply before moving on. It might mean muting or blocking people who vanish instead of leaving the door open just in case. It might mean telling yourself, if communication disappears, so do I. Boundaries aren't walls. They're fences with gates you control. They keep your energy sacred. When you stop overextending for people who show inconsistency, you stop teaching the world that you'll tolerate it. Healing from ghosting isn't about becoming numb or cynical. It's about becoming clear. You learn that someone else's silence isn't a reflection of your inadequacy. It's a reflection of their capacity. And you start moving differently. Not with bitterness, but with discernment. Because you've learned that your peace is too valuable to waste on people who vanish when things get real. Thanks for watching. If you're a gay man and these conversations speak to you, go ahead and hit subscribe. I post new videos every week about the things we go through. Love, identity, healing, and everything in between. I'd love to have you be part of this community. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.